Hello and welcome to today's session. My name is Ellie and this is the first in the Chakra Relaxa Yin series. So if you can, make sure you're in a quiet space. You've got cushions or pillows, a bolster if you've got one, blocks or maybe books or just anything similar, blanket as well, because it's really nice to have that extra support in yin yoga. It's okay if you don't have it, but if you can gather those things, it'll help with your experience and your time in the yin practice. Also, if you want to get your favorite cup of tea, crystals maybe, so I've got ones that correlate to the root chakra because that's what we'll look at today. So I've got some tiger's eye and some red carnelian. You can have that if you want to, maybe smoke cleanse or have essential oils, diffusing, anything that makes the practice more special and sacred. It doesn't take too much time to do, but it really just really adds something more magical and special, and you can get a lot more out of it when you have that intention of your practice being this really sacred time, because it is. So yeah, if you can get those things ready, then do. Music, you can use the Spotify playlist that I've linked if you want to have it playing a bit quieter so you can still hear me, or you can be in silence or play your own music. It's up to you. So this is the root chakra class. So we're going to start at the root chakra and work up each month. We'll do mostly the lower body and legs because it's root chakra, so that's what it correlates to physically. It's at the tailbone. It's a deep earthy red, so the colour the root chakra correlates with is a deep earthy red. It's our connection to the earth, to the material world and abundance. It's our place of security and safety, feeling safe. So if you've got a blockage or an underactive energy here, you might feel fear and anxiety easily. So it's important to work up from the base upwards as well. So we will do some nice relaxing poses. If you need to come out of anything at any time, then do. Be gentle with yourself. It's really important. And we're also going to do affirmations throughout, so root chakra affirmations, and you can repeat them internally or you can repeat them out loud, which can be quite powerful to say them out loud. That just might depend on where you are or how you feel about it, but please feel free to say them out loud. Right, we'll start. So the Sanskrit word as well for the root chakra is Mulhadhara. I think it's nice, it's good to know these things as well. So yes, our place of belonging and abundance. So we're going to start in a cross-legged seat. I'm sitting on a blanket. You don't have to, but you can sit on a cushion or a blanket. It can make it a little bit more supported for your spine. So we'll start with our hands in Dhyani Mudra. So hands on top of each other with the thumb tips meeting and down in your lap. Roll your shoulders up, back and down, and then close your eyes. If you don't feel comfortable closing your eyes today, that's fine. You can just gaze down at the floor. Beginning to slow everything down and becoming aware of the room that you're in. Maybe hearing sounds outside the room or inside the room. And letting all of that be part of your experience. Begin to deepen your breathing. So breathing deeply in through your nose, filling the belly, like you're breathing all the way down to the root chakra. And then lengthening the exhales. So we're immediately calming down the nervous system, the mind, and the body together. Feel your legs, your sit bones rooted. Feel their presence on the mat, on the floor, and lifting slightly through the crown of the head. So we're sitting nice and tall and got space to breathe into. Carrying on with your deep breathing, I now want you to bring your awareness to the root chakra, so the base of the spine, and imagine a red glowing ball of energy, light, pulsating or spinning here. So see what comes up intuitively for you. There's no right or wrong. It's just something along those lines of this deep earthy red light or ball of energy at the base of the spine. And just observing, visualizing that without expectations or labels. Take 3 more deep breaths here like this. Keeping your eyes closed, repeating the affirmation internally or externally. I am grounded and connected to the earth. I am grounded and connected to the earth. Okay, and then we'll take one more nice big breath in. And a long breath out through the mouth, clearing, releasing. And we'll bring our palms now together in Anjali Mudra, a prayer position at the heart center, and bow the head down, forehead to the fingertips. And bat your eyelids slowly open here and lifting your head up. We'll do a little bit of gentle movement to begin before we take poses where we hold them for a bit longer. So inhale, reach your arms up, the palms meet at the top. Exhale, palms come down, connecting movement with breath. Breathe in softly, softly. So I like to move a little bit more softly in yin practice through all of the movements and poses. One more big breath in and exhale down. Okay, so bring your fingertips either side of you. Make sure you're rolling your shoulders up, back and down again to get this length between shoulders and ears. And then we're going to take the right ear to right shoulder, and you can close your eyes here. You can do that as much as you like. Lots of people have their eyes closed through the majority of a yin practice. Whatever feels best for you. Whatever allows you to tap in and feel relaxed and in the moment. So right ear to right shoulder. So we've got space between the left ear and left shoulder. And then just breathing into that, breathing deeply in and out through your nose, and keeping your awareness, your intention on wherever you feel it the most, wherever you feel the stretch the most. Stay there and breathe into it. Relax it with the breath. Send the breath there, which I know sounds a bit funny, but every time you exhale, imagine that that's releasing tension from that area wherever you feel it the most. So we'll hold here for just one more breath. And then slowly, carefully roll the chin, roll the head down and over, left ear to left shoulder. And again, finding that space between the shoulder and the ear on the right side, allowing the shoulder to drop away as much as you can. And if you can't feel much, you can bring your left hand onto the right side of your head very gently if you want to deepen it. But that's just an option. Again, deep breaths to anchor in, back into the present moment, back into how your body's feeling. Okay, one more nice deep breath here. And then we'll slowly bring the head back up and we'll move to all fours. So you can, if you've got quite sensitive knees, you can kneel on a blanket, or if you don't have a blanket, you can fold your mat, or maybe you're just fine and you don't need to do that at all. So all fours for cat-cow, which I think I must include in every single class of any kind. Cat-cow is the essential. It's a really nice one for warming up the spine, for getting into your body and learning intuitively what your body needs and how to move it. Yeah, and if you've got any back issues, cat-cow is a really good one to do. Okay, tea break. Right, so have your fingers spread nice and wide. Shoulders are over the wrists. The hips are over the knees, or you can have the knees a bit wider if you want to. Toes relaxing, pointing backwards. I'll start us off and then you can move in your own way, your own time. So inhale, the tailbone lifts, start the movement at the tailbone, the belly drops, the chest expands and we look ahead. And then as you exhale, tuck the tailbone under, starting movement there again, round the spine, round the upper back and dip the chin down. And again, inhale, starting the movement at the tailbone and then the belly drops. And we're looking ahead. Exhale, rounding everything in. And now close your eyes and move at your own pace, in your own way. If you want to get creative and move side to side or do circles with the rib cage side to side, do that. Just explore what feels good for your body today. You're moving gently and kindly with the breath. And our affirmation here is, I am here, I am safe. Okay, a few more rounds like that in a cat-cow. And then coming to stillness, and we're going to walk our feet up to our hands for like a forward fold, but it's called dangling in Yin. So you're just going to carefully bring your feet up to your hands, have them hip width if not wider, so you feel nice and stable, and then have your knees bent generously and allow the belly to rest on the thighs. And then have your head and hands dangle. So it's like the crown of the head and the soles of the feet are connecting down to the earth. If this one feels too intense for you at any point, then you can just come back to a child's pose. Breathing deeply, everything's nice and heavy. You've got stable, supported base with your feet and your legs. If you do at any point feel like you need to make a bit of movement in this one, you can do. If you want to straighten the legs a little bit or bend them a bit more. We'll be here for another 3 deep breaths. Okay, pressing into the hands, ease the knees back, big toes together, and we'll come to child's pose. So prop wise, you can put blanket or cushion between thighs and calves if you want to, or you can rest down onto a blanket or a cushion or a bolster if you've got one that can feel nice and supported, or you don't need any props at all. You know, it's fine, like I say, if you haven't got anything. So if you're on a prop, you might be like holding it like this. If you don't have anything or you don't want anything, then you can bring the forehead stacked on hands. You can bring the hands ahead of you, and you can bring the hands round by the feet, and you can rest with your forehead on the mat or the side of the face. So just finding a child's pose that suits you, that you feel you can be still in. And again, reconnect to the breath, always coming back to the breath as your anchor. So deeply breathing in and out through your nose. You can exhale through the mouth at any time though if you feel like you need that release. So deep breaths. Breathe into the back of the body, down into the belly. And then as you exhale, really feel that gravity is supporting you. You're completely safe, secure and supported. So much that you can just give your weight over to the support of gravity. And we'll bring in the affirmation. I have everything I need. I have everything I need. Okay, we'll take 5 more deep breaths here. So counting 5 nice deep breaths, breathing in through your nose, again deeply down into the belly. And then exhaling through your mouth to really cleanse, release, get heavy, soften for these last few breaths. We always ease slowly out of yin poses as well, so if you have any props, then just put them aside. And we're just very slowly, taking your time, come up to a kneeling position. And you can have some more tea if you've got any. Okay, next we'll do straddle. So again, here you can be sitting on something if you've got that available, but it's okay if you don't. We're going to take the legs wide, but they don't have to go as wide as you physically can. So in yin, it's not at all the point to force your body into a position where you can really feel it and you're like, oh yes, this is great, I'm getting a really big stretch. It's not what we're aiming for in yin. We're taking it to where we can feel it. So we take it to our edge, a sustainable place in each pose where we can feel it, and then we stop there. And in the time that we give ourselves during the pose, the body softens and relaxes. The connective tissues and muscles gradually open up in a more safe and effective way. So there will be the option to fold in the straddle. So you can have blocks or bolster or a cushion in front of you ready to come onto if you want to. If you've got one of these bolsters, it can be nice to bring your forehead onto it like that. That's probably my favourite way to do this pose. But as I say, if you don't have that, that's completely fine. If you've got a particularly sensitive lower back especially, don't round your spine and hold it there because it's going to put too much pressure on it. You need to hinge from the hips and keep the back straight, and instead of doing this, because it doesn't matter how far down you're coming anyway. So, hello. So the legs are wide, not as wide as they'll go. The feet are slightly active, so they're not dropping like this. We want them a bit active. And then we're going to start by just taking a nice big breath in and lengthening through the spine. Seeing how you feel here. And then as you exhale, bring the hands in front of you. You might stay where you are if you can feel it. If you can't feel much, then you can slowly begin to walk your hands forwards. And then once you feel it, so I can feel it here now, so I'm going to stop. I could go further, but there's no point really. I can feel it, there's work being done, there's shifts happening. I can soften more if I stay here and work safely and kindly for my body and within my body's means. And you can close your eyes if you want to. I'm going to get my prop over actually. You can close your eyes, we'll be here for a few minutes. So just observe your body through the time and see if it shifts. It may be after a minute or so you feel that there's a shift, where there's space that happens, where there's melting, and where you maybe can't feel that stretch you felt initially, and you've gone past that point. And now as you've relaxed, you've created more space that you might then be able to melt further, or you might stay where you are, you might come out. They're all completely okay options. What is right for you, and that is the best thing to do. Okay, so deeply breathing in and out through your nose. We found our edge and we're being still. Trying to be still here. And our affirmation here is, I attract abundance in all areas of my life. I attract abundance in all areas of my life. Taking another 3 deep breaths here, again softening as much as you can on those last breaths. And then taking your time and easing out, so moving slowly, because we're holding the body in that position for a while. We want to come out slowly and gently. Okay, and then you're going to bring your soles of feet onto the floor, knees are bent, and I'm just going to pause in this neutral position and allow the body to process and absorb the movement. So keep your attention, keep your focus with how it feels. Wherever you felt that most during the stretch, how does that feel now? Okay, and we'll move to our next pose, which is deer. So this is kind of gentler version for the hips than a pigeon pose. So parallel to the top of the mat, parallel-ish, doesn't have to be parallel, you're going to have your right shin. So our legs come in like a zigzag position. So the right shin is fairly parallel to the top of the mat, the feet are gently flexed. If this just doesn't feel right to you, you can, and it's better for your body, then have less of a range of motion in the legs, and you can have this foot on the thigh. So you might be here, or you might be somewhere in between, you might be here. And then everyone's body is different, so do what's best for you. If you want props at all, if you want some cushioning, you might have it under your foot or under this knee, or you might want it under the back leg a bit, or you might want to sit on something. So take your time and set up the pose. There's no rush, we're here to slow everything down and be quiet and have stillness, which is, it's hard to find that in our lives now, so really cherish that in this time. So take your time getting into this deer pose. From the front, it looks a bit like this. I don't know if that helps. You want your hips to be level, so you don't want to be leaning over here too much. You want hips level as well to the top of the mat. Okay, so I'm all right without a prop, I think. So there are different options in this, and often it's to fold forwards, but today we're going to lean back. So if it feels comfortable for you, if it feels okay, bring your hands behind you, supporting you. And then we're opening gently through the chest, and then settle in a bit. So we don't want to stay too much like this, just soften everywhere, soften through the shoulders, soften the face. And you can close your eyes again if you want to. And just breathing. And in some yin poses, you might not feel much at all, and that's fine. Some are really uncomfortable and really intense. Some you barely feel anything, and there's all the way in between. And there's no right or wrong there. As long as you're not getting shooting pain in the joints, and you can still be making shifts, and you're still working the physical and energetic, subtle energies of the body, even when you can't really physically feel the pose. Our affirmation here is, my needs are valid. My needs are valid. If your mind ever wanders at all, just bring it back to the breath, anchoring yourself into the moment, into the physical sensations in your body, or maybe things that are coming up in your mind. And always not labeling or judging that, just observing. Okay, taking another breath here. And then from here we will nice and slowly straighten out the right leg in front of you. Begin to bring the upper body up, and then you're going to bring the left foot inside to the inside of the right thigh, so that we're in a half butterfly. So we look like this. So again, you do want some, although it's passive stretching, you do want some activeness in certain areas of the body to keep that integrity and alignment in the pose. So if you feel like you want to sit on something here, you can do. If you want to bring something in front of you to lean on to, you can. I'm going to pop that there ready. And again, remember, if you've got a sensitive back, then don't curl forwards. You need to be keeping the back as straight as you can and hinging from the hips. So the right foot is fairly active, and we'll take a nice big breath in to lengthen through the spine. And then as you exhale, you can gently and slowly start to walk the hands forwards. And then again, once you feel it, probably in the back of the leg, then pause. So I can already feel it now. So I'm just going to stay here and breathe deeply and imagine that I'm releasing tension from there, from the back of the leg. And if your mind wanders, that's fine. Just bring it back, and you might then realise, oh, hold on, I can't really feel that anymore actually. And then that's your cue to move a little bit deeper. And if you want to support the head at all, because you don't want too much, you don't want the head be dangling with not supporting the neck, then you can bring the elbows maybe on your prop or on the leg, and then support your head with your hands, maybe with the thumbs or the chin in the hands, depending on where you're at. Taking another breath here. slowly coming up. Rolling that away. And between sides, before we do the other side, we'll pause again. We'll do our rebound. So bring the hands behind you, soles of feet on the floor, knees are bent. And we'll just pause and see what you can feel. Again, no judgment or labels or thinking, oh, why does my hip feel like that? Is it because I did that the other day? Don't worry too much about that. Just feel it. Don't think. Try to turn off your thinking mind as much as you can. Keep on coming back to it. I know it's hard. But just always coming back to that practice of turning off the thinking mind and feeling and just being here now and observing and feeling. It sounds simple. It's kind of simple, but it's also pretty difficult. And you can bring in some swishes of the knees side to side or any other movements that are going to feel good in your body now. Okay, and then we'll do the same on the other side. So we'll do deer and then the forward folding half butterfly. So you're going to bring your left shin now parallel to the top of the mat, or again parallel-ish, depending on how it is in your body. And then your right leg behind you. So something like this. Maybe it's like this. And then props. Might want to sit on a blanket. I think I'm going to put a blanket there. Okay, taking your time. You can have some tea again if you want to. And we'll lean back. So making sure that your hips are fairly square to the top of the mat again. And then we'll bring our hands behind us. I'm going to double knot this top. Why didn't I think of that? Right, there we go. Okay, so bring your hands behind you. If for any reason this variation just doesn't sit right in your body, that is fine. You can just stay upright instead. Okay, so leaning back gently and then softening a bit through the shoulders so we don't have to be propping up. We can just kind of get a little bit heavy through the shoulders. And checking in, making sure the feet are gently active and flexed, but then softening. So softening the periphery of your experience of your body. So breathing into the core of your experience and then exhaling to the periphery and softening as you go. And if that means you then adjust, it might, you need to adjust in your position a bit to soften, then that is what you do. Now, affirmation here is, I love my body. I love my body. Take 3 more breaths here. And then begin to slowly straighten the left leg out and bring the sole of the right foot to the inside of the right thigh, bringing yourself up and adjusting, maybe shaking the arms out, maybe have some more tea. My tea's cold, but it's quite nice cold, so I don't mind. Okay, so props again, you might want to sit on a blanket, you might want something to fold onto. And yeah, if you've got one of these, that's really nice. But if not, not to worry, you can have nothing here. I might do it with nothing to demonstrate. Okay, so take a nice big breath in, lengthen through your spine. And as you exhale, walking the fingers, the hands forwards very slowly. Once you feel it, then stop, pause. That is your edge, that's your sustainable place. Just pausing there at our edge in stillness for an extended period of time, unless you need to come out or you wish to go deeper. Our affirmation here is, I release any doubts and fears. I release any doubts and fears. So take again another 3 breaths here, seeing if you can soften just that final bit more on your 3 last exhales. And then slowly easing out and keeping awareness on how your body, the sensations in your body shift as you move out. Bring your hands behind you for support, soles of feet onto the mat, onto the floor. And pausing here. And what can you feel? How does it feel? How do you feel? Okay, and we'll come to lie down now. So we're going to do a supported bridge. So if you have blankets or a bolster or cushions, then place them under where your back's going to be in preparation, or you can have them ready next to you. So you can have just a blanket at the base, like at your lower back. Just a blanket even can add quite a nice little lift here. So a normal bridge, we're like this, we're just supporting ourselves a bit more and not coming up to a full bridge. If you've got a bolster, you can do the same. So you'd be sat at the base of it and then relax the back over, or the same with maybe 2 pillows or some cushions. Just get creative with your props and kind of just make it up so that you feel supported and comfortable. Right. So coming to your variation of a supported bridge, the feet are flat on the ground, knees can be bent. Have the palms facing up can be quite nice. And then getting heavy here. And you can, in fact, you can bring the kind of the bum up onto the prop as well. So you can slide your cushion or blankets under the bum too, so the whole spine is lifting. You can have a go straightening the legs out or keep them bent. And our affirmation here is, I am supported and nourished by the earth. I am supported and nourished by the earth. So take 5 more breaths here. And again, sinking and softening as much as you can. Just letting everything go as much as you can. And then if you have any props, then just try to lazily slide them out the way. Okay, and then we're going to gently hug the knees into the belly, into the chest. You can be still, or you could rock side to side. You can draw circles with the knee, move intuitively, or be still intuitively. Then we'll come to reclined twist, which brings equilibrium to the spine. So bring your arms out either side of you, palms facing up. You can have them straight or bent if there's maybe not enough room to have them straight. And then bring your, prop-wise, you can have a blanket or cushion or some support where your knees are going to go. So if you want that, then put your prop there, ready. Okay, so then bringing your knees over to the right side first, and then head comes over left shoulder. So we have this full twist going down the spine, and adjusting so that you feel like you can really get heavy and relax, and we're not holding on to tension. There's nothing being held up off the mat. It can be easier here to kind of be slightly tense and holding something off. Really drop, let it all go. Breathing again and just giving it over to the moment, over to gravity. Our affirmation here is, I trust myself. I trust myself. Taking 5 more deep breaths on this side. And when you're ready, bring the head back to the center and the knees back up to the center, and soles of the feet on the floor, and then adjusting your spine, your hips, so that you feel like you're in a straight, your back's in a straight line again. And again, we'll just pause in the middle before we come to the other side. Okay, so again, making sure your arms are out either side, palms are up. Bring the knees into the belly and over to the left side now, maybe onto something soft or maybe not. You can have your knees higher up or lower down. That will kind of change the stretch in the back, so just see what's best for you. And you can cross your legs if you want to deepen it as well. And then head coming over right shoulder. And our final affirmation is, the universe takes care of me. The universe takes care of me. Keep coming back to that deep breathing. Every exhale, allow your body to release a bit more tension, get a bit heavier. And we'll take another 5 final deep breaths in our reclined twist. And then bringing the head back, the knees back, soles of feet onto the floor and pausing. Okay, now we'll come to Shavasana, our relaxation. So we'll be here for 20-25 minutes-ish. If your lower back hurts sore, you can have knees coming together and soles of feet on the mat wide, like at the edges of the mat, knees coming together. Or you can come to Shavasana Have your feet wide again. It can be nice to take a bit of space and have a kind of starfish type of shape in Shavasana. Palms facing up, equal distance away from the body, legs are wide. If you want to put on any jumpers, socks, a dressing gown, go to the toilet, all of that stuff, do that now so you can be really comfy. I'm going to sit up and do the guided relaxation part, but if you stay lying down, put a blanket over yourself as well. Another really nice option is to put a rolled up mat or a blanket or pillow under your knees. That feels really nice and supportive. Maybe something for your head, an eye mask. If you can, I really recommend going all out, but if you're just there on your mat also, it will be lovely. So getting comfy, taking your time, there is no rush. Getting a blanket on you if you can, because the body temperature does drop in yin and in Shavasana because it's not moving. Okay, so making sure that you're comfortable, that you feel that you can be still. And then we'll again come to the awareness of our surroundings, so the room that you're in, hearing any noises outside of your room and inside of the room, and again allowing those to be part of the experience. Don't fight them if there are any, just allow them to be there. Give yourself permission to be here. So this is important work, or rather the opposite of work, which is what we need. It's important rest. It's important time for you that you deserve, that you need. Give in to that and allow that. You've chosen to be here, so commit to it and give yourself permission to be still and to be quiet and to slow down and to just relax. Because if you keep up that practice of doing that, then I promise you great things will come and it will greatly benefit you. Take one big breath in through the nose and a big breath out through the mouth to really settle and get heavy. The eyelids are heavy. If you don't want your eyes closed, you can gaze at the ceiling. Otherwise, having eyes closed with a soft gaze underneath. Relaxing your jaw so you can unhinge the jaw. Maybe wiggle it about a bit, relaxing, releasing tension from the jaw and breathing naturally. Feeling all of the back parts of your body in contact with the mat, in contact with the earth. So imagining that you're lying on, it might be on some moss, on the dirt, in a grassy meadow, on a beach, whatever resonates with you the most, what area in nature to lie on makes you feel most grounded, safe and secure. And imagine that you're there lying on that. And breathe in the smells that you might experience there. The warmth of and the energy of the earth beneath you, as though it's been warmed by the sun all day. And it's supportive, but it perfectly molds to your body. every exhale, really sink into that surface of nature that you're lying on. Breathe it in, feel the breeze. And then from here, consciously relaxing our body and starting at the toes. So relaxing the toes, or at least setting the intention to relax the toes, even if you don't feel much. It's the importance of the intention. So relaxing the toes. Allow that warmth and relaxation to spread to the soles of your feet and your heels. And the tops of the feet. And this through to the ankles, softening. The shins and the calves become heavy and relaxed. And softening into the knees. Allowing this warmth, this conscious relaxation to come to the thighs, the tops of the thighs. And the backs of the thighs are heavy and melting down. And then into the hips. Hips releasing, becoming heavy too, supported by gravity, supported by the surface beneath you. And into the lower back and the belly. And every time you breathe in, feeling the gentle expansion. And as you breathe out, feeling that softening. Then coming to the ribs, the mid-back, and up into the chest. And again, as you breathe in, it gently expands. And as you breathe out, everything gets a bit heavier and softer still, releasing tension from somewhere else in your body. Allowing the softness, the relaxation to spread to the collarbones and up to the shoulders, releasing tension from your shoulders, allowing them to nestle under. And then that relaxation spreads down the arms all the way to your hands and your fingertips. And then just for a moment, observing what you can sense in the palms of your hands and your fingers. It might be the temperature of the air, or maybe tingles, some kind of buzzing. Now we'll come to the throat and the neck, softening here. And up into the jaw. So again, really imagining that you're softening the whole jaw, somewhere we can unknowingly hold on to tension. And from the jaw all the way to the temples, softening into the temples. The skin of the face is soft, All of the small muscles around the eyes soften and relax. And then to the back of the head. The back of the head is heavy. So sensing now, feeling now that your whole physical body and your subtle energy body is completely still, relaxed, heavy. And from this place we can do deep healing, deep nourishment on many levels. And I now want you again, as we did in the beginning, to bring in the visualization of the root chakra. So the base of your spine at the tailbone, a deep red, earthy, glowing ball or wheel of energy, of light, moving, spinning, and just see what comes up for you. So again, just observing. There's no right or wrong. Bringing that colour, that light energy into the root chakra. Staying with that without labels or judgment, just observing. to gently close the visualization. Just imagine that red, deep, earthy light getting smaller and closing down now, but knowing that it's still there, it's always there, and that the energy runs freely through it. Now begin to slowly bring awareness back to your physical body. You can start to wiggle fingers and toes. Take some deeper breaths. Take your time. Again, there is no rush. And if you would like to stay here longer and you just want to stay in Shavasana, then do that. You can just stay. Or maybe go straight to bed if it's bedtime for you. Okay, so if you're coming out of it, then wiggling fingers and toes, breathing a bit more deeply and taking a big full body stretch when you're ready. So stretching your arms up overhead and straightening the legs, stretching your legs. And then bending your knees and rolling over onto your side. And just staying there for a moment in that nice, cozy feeling. Okay, and then when you're ready, keep your eyes closed if you can. Press into the floor and come to cross-legged seat again. And bringing your hands into the lap. One palm on top of the other, the thumb tips meet. Shoulders roll down and back. And again, bring your awareness to your feet, your legs, your sit bones, your tailbone. Everything is rooted and grounded, connected. And then gently lifting through the spine, crown of the head, shoulders drop away from the ears. Breathing naturally and checking in with how you feel. And then we'll take 3 deep cleansing breaths together. So big breath in through the nose, down into the belly, and a long breath out through the mouth. 2 more like that. Big breath in through the nose whenever you're ready. And a long breath out through the mouth. 1 more. Big breath in. Fill the belly and then audible sigh to release. Bring the palms together at the heart center. Bow the forehead down to the fingertips. Bat your eyelids open here. Coming up. Thank you so much for taking the time to do this for yourself. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you've got any feedback or any thoughts, please message me, let me know. The next will be our sacral chakra, which is a really lovely one to creativity, wants and desires, sensuality. Yeah, so hopefully see you then. Bye.